Hello and welcome to the Listening Post's unboxing channel on YouTube. Today I'm unboxing one of the most anticipated releases from NAD, their Master Series M33. This hybrid design of integrated amplifier and streamer all in one is astonishing, from a quality in build, from a sound and operation. Everything in it is absolutely flawless. Not only does it support the streaming on board of every known audio format, consumer format, but also all of the main streaming services, 15, 16, 17 of those. It's got all the main internet radio streaming services on board, and digital and analog inputs that are unrivaled in their performance in any price, let alone in this relatively affordable price point in the Master Series. So, let's have a look. NAD. This is an outer box, like a shipping box, so it's relatively muted. It simply has the information here and a white sticker of M33, some scannable stuff, and of course the serial number. Basic information, just a little subtle logo here. And again, an emulation of what's going on. Looking at the top, you see some basic information, and one of them is actually a warning. It's relatively heavy. Look, here in New Zealand, we're supplied the power cords separately to ensure that these come factory sealed, implying, of course, inside that we've probably got all manner of international power cords. Okay. Opening this is really easy. It's sellotape closed, so it's just that classic pack-in tape. Okay. And sort of lifting and then dragging the knife across the top means that there's no digging in as far as being able to potentially damage the product. The tape's actually a little bit stubborn. Inside we have a separately sealed inner carton, and as they recommend, always take the box off the product. Now, the box is literally vacuumed on as far as it's sealed. Look at that. So the inner box is covered in that sort of that plastic sort of shrink wrap seal. I don't know, heated and shrinks on. Taking that next layer off is relatively straightforward. Just pick an area, just anywhere off the main, and get yourself a tab and away you go. Start tearing at this. It's done its job. It's rubbish now. It's only there to preserve the product and ensure that it gets to you in one piece. Again, this factory seal, it's lovely to see a product at this performance level with the care associated with getting it to you in one piece. The inner box is a little bit less subtle. It's still only black printing over a brown box, but you can see an air of elegance despite the fact it's only a brown box. You've got the Master Series logo and its model number. Again, an emulation of scan information and barcodes. Same information as far as packaging, and model numbers on the other sides. The inner box, again, is very easily opened. Again, it's only sellotape, so very straightforward as far as opening. As always, I sort of recommend that, you know, the delicate mix every now and again rather than running a craft knife right across the top. And look at that. Beautiful design elements. And it's lovely to see. This top part has moulded cardboard, and in it the accessory pack. Now firstly, it's important to pause. NAD has any number of different packaging choices that they could make, and they've opted to go with recycled cardboard. Not only if it's disposed of in landfill will it just rot down, but it gives an opportunity perhaps of it being recycled, and that's an important thing to consider given how permanent some other products like closed cell foam and polystyrene can become. Okay. So, taking out the accessory box, just a quick look, again it was moulded for that. Before we continue though, I'm going to show you this. I know it's only a little thing, but it's really important. What they've done in both, all four corners of the box is that they've added some additional very stiff cardboard. Now this packaging isn't unique, but if you think about it, where are the pressure points in this product? Should it be impacted from the corners or from the top, that extra support is going to ensure that this product is going to arrive to you in perfect condition, regardless of how heavy-handed some of the shipping agents or the couriers or somebody like that are going to be. It's absolutely wonderful to see these small, subtle things thought about, because at the end of the day, we all want this product in our home in one piece and hate the idea of discovering disguised freight damage and all of the hassles that go with it. So little things like that are really, really important and wonderful to see. Okay. Before we dive in, let's have a look at some of the accessories. Remember, this is an important element of all of the purchases that you might make. There is a quick setup guide of the M33. There's a multilingual sort of important information and safety that's more electrical and stuff. The quick setup guide has a basic input and output just displayed. In it is some information about warranty, about DAC Live, and we're going to pause and have a chat about that later, and some introduction to some of the other BluOS products as well as streaming. The quick setup guide is very, very easy. It's big pictures of where your power cord goes, where your analog inputs go, how are you using digital, what is ESABU, all of these things. Okay? Nice and easy. Drilling further in, we've got some basic cleaning instructions, and in here, one of those microfiber polishing cloths. Nice little freebie. And again, with anything as elegant and as beautifully made as this, it's nice to see that they've thought about the little things. Further in, you'll see a couple of things. Firstly, a beautiful NAD embossed leather sort of baggie with a USB key in it. It unclips and slides out. Now that's a large capacity USB, and it's designed to help with not only the software updating that may be required, but also to give you somewhere to put a little bit of music every now and again, because this unit has any number of different inputs, including USB. Again, recycled cardboard is utilised for the packaging, and we see 4 isolation cups. The unit itself is fitted with milled feet, and those milled feet of course could potentially damage the surface that you're sitting them on. You've got some beautiful wooden piece of furniture, scratching it, dragging the amplifier across the top is going to scratch it. Well, that allows the unit to have all of the isolation and weight, and have a beautiful puck to ensure that it won't slip around. Again, lovely to see. Further in, I'll put that off to one side. Just have a quick look. Again, recycled cardboard box, and away it goes. Now, in this cloth bag, Ziploc bag, we have the remote control. Now this is where, despite the fact that the vast majority of people will use this product with an app or with a smart device of some kind, they've spared no expense for a very elegant remote control. This has extruded aluminium sides, a lovely fit and finish, a real elegance to its design. It has all of the ability to control any number of different devices, and if I understand correctly, this will also control a number of other devices in your home as well, as it's a learning remote control. Looking at the back, this is where the batteries go in, and when where any programming is required should you want to use this as a learning remote. Out of the box, it's automatically set up for the control of all of the features of the amplifier. Next thing, and I'll just turn that forward for a moment, is of course the amplifier itself. It's protected with an additional bag, And just sort of scooped up was an additional piece of desiccant. There's a couple more in some of the packaging here, just to ensure that the cardboard is not going to absorb any moisture in transit. In the base of the box, is an additional box for accessories. And again, just showing you there, and then off that goes. We'll have a quick look. Right, so in here we have a UK power cord. It's a IEC with an earth, a bit useless to me. We have the Singaporean or US version. We have 4 AA batteries, obviously with the capacity of the remote control. These are quite important. We've got a USB to 3.5mm adapter. Now this is specific to the DAC microphone, which is the next one in here. DAC and DAC Live allow you to test the room itself and how the amplifier is performing with the speakers in the room. That requires obviously some in-depth testing, and with that a microphone and the ability for the amplifier to see that, hence the adapters that are provided. There's also 2 aerials. Now this of course is because the unit has streaming on board, and for it to use 2.4 and 5 GHz wireless there are 2 aerials. Now, on to the amplifier itself. It has an oversized drawstring closed bag, and the first touch of this product is giving you a hint of the elegance straight away. Even just from the side, this beautiful extruded aluminium panel has had no expense spared. It's polished, there's not a fingerprint on it. Everything from the first glance tells me that this product has been extremely well thought out, and some effort made in the engineering of every element and every component. Getting the bag off is relatively straightforward. It's just about rocking it so that the bag can slide under the feet. It's got a sort of a semi-soft feel to the bag, obviously designed to care for the product in transit. Now I mentioned about the puck supports. Well, of course, if we have a look first at the bottom, we've got milled feet. These are adjustable for leveling purposes should you require. Okay, so let's look at this product for the first time. It's relatively muted in design, and that's because it has a large sort of 7-inch touchscreen. Most of the operations are going to be controlled via the touchscreen. It shows you the cover art and other things along those lines. It allows you to dive into the setup, change elements of it, all from the touchscreen. Once set up, as far as your streaming services, this is one of the most elegant approaches as far as the operation and control of this product. Touching on its performance for a moment, it is worth noting that this has on board a 32-bit Sabre DAC running at 384 FA, 386 kHz. One of the most advanced DACs available, full stop. Combined with the fact that it will play all manner of audio media and is compatible with between 16 and 24-bit music, it is astonishing as far as its compliance and compatibility. This is on board. It also has 192 kilobits per second music playback, and combined with DAC Live, the touchscreen, all of these features are absolutely astonishing to see on an amplifier, regardless of the quality. And that's where the balance is found. This wonderful quality is astonishing to see. Now, let's look at that again. Now, firstly, actually, I'm going to tilt it forward. Just have a look. Just look at how beautiful that product is. It's a statement of elegance. And why I've tilted it forward first is because normally you would see power or some way of turning it on, perhaps off to one side. Here, it's a touch sensor in the top center. Beneath it, of course, is the full colour touchscreen, and off to one side, the main rotary encoder. It's got an NAD logo off the opposite side, and it's got one of those beautiful protective covers, which I'm going to leave on for now. Sliding it around so that we can see, again, those extruded aluminium features that I mentioned. And if I look again, the design element is astonishing. It has ventilation from underneath that draws over the electronics and passes through the middle. Spinning it around, we'll see the feature set that is quite unique to something of this quality. It has two modular design slots ready. Now, I'll be honest with how well this is featured in having BluOS or NAD Blue Sound streaming on board. One of the main modules is sort of a little bit redundant, I guess, because it's got the BluOS already. Many of the predecessors of this model, including the Classic series, the first module is the most likely to utilise for the BluOS module for streaming. This has it on board, so we've now got two slots ready for what might happen tomorrow. Looking across there, we have one of the two aerials. It's worth mentioning that one of these, of course, is also for, what have they got? Bluetooth 5. It's a bi-directional Bluetooth of exceptional quality. Follows the aptX standard. It'll run HD via Bluetooth, and it's bi-directional. So again, it will send out to wireless headphones as well as in from devices that might be used for streaming. Beneath the two aerials is a service area, and this is kind of important. Ignore the fact that it's got a USB. That's simply for software updating and other things should there ever be a problem. Beside that, we have a traditional wired network socket, and beneath that a USB. Now the USB can be utilised for external hard drives, although it doesn't support the voltage and current required for the large, very large powered hard drives. A simple USB stick is probably the most likely. Beside it is an HDMI input for an audio return channel. Should this be utilised for perhaps a high-end SACD player via an HDMI, or most likely the audio return from a TV. It's lovely to see an HDMI input is there waiting for exactly that. Beside it and oddly isolated are the two subwoofer outputs. Now the subwoofer outputs are governed by the software and operating system of the amplifier, and the frequency response and everything is managed brilliantly with the touchscreen. Slightly more boring, I guess, is some switching associated with the fact that this amplifier can be used in either stereo or mono, RS232 IR and 12 volt triggers for automation and the ability for this to turn on other devices. Beneath it, we've got two coax inputs and two optical inputs, both just labelled optical 1 and 2 and coax 1 and 2. They can be labelled and any name given to them via the setup on the front touchscreen. There's the AS EBU, or balanced digital, 110 ohm, whatever it might be. It's a standard for digital connection at the higher end of our industry, and it's wonderful to see that this is implemented in an amplifier of this price. Beside that are two balanced inputs. That would imply an external CD player or something of credible quality, and a phono input dedicated for a turntable. It's a moving magnet, I believe, only, and then a traditional line input, single-ended. There is a single pre-out for the purposes of taking this and potentially using it in any number of other applications. And then we've got its outputs. Now it has A and B speakers, and the amplifier can also be bridged mono. It's rated at 200 watts, but very quickly you learn that that's a real world wattage and it has a lot more capacity. The fact that it will deliver upwards of maybe 700 watts bridged mono, and maybe 300, 380 watts or something into a lower impedance of 4 ohms, it highlights just how much control and power it has on board. It is wonderful to see such an amount of control and power off such a small chassis. It means that any load that you might expect is going to be controlled and astonishing power delivered from a relatively small and relatively affordable box. Right, lastly, we've got a ground for the purposes of obviously earthing your turntable, an IEC input which is fused, that little cap has a spare fuse in it as well, and then a good quality rocker switch. Okay, so there we have one of the most anticipated products in New Zealand. The NAD M33. It's a streamer, it's an amplifier, and it's high end. It is astonishingly good value, and the performance is second to none in its price. The M33 by NAD, unboxed here at the Listening Post in Christchurch, New Zealand. Thanks for watching. If you want to see more, subscribe to our channel. So, a specific shout out. Firstly, saying hello to Jeff Parsons from Perth. Thought I'd say hello. Jeff, one of my favourite beers is Three Boys IPA. Here it is. Cheers, Jeff if you ever come to Christchurch, I will make sure I buy you a Three Boys IPA. Whether it be out of my fridge at work or down the road at 12 Bar, Blues Bar by the way, you come and see me. Mate, love your comments on our channel. Great to see some support. Cheers.